The following program is brought to you by Jack Miller.
It's Down to Business with Jack Miller. Forget what they teach you in school. This is real life, not Wall Street, but Main Street. A real show on what's really involved with starting and running a business with all the ups and downs. Our guests will answer your questions and provide you with valuable information. Stay tuned and join in the conversation.
Hello, this is Jack Miller with Todd Cohen. We're in studio with the lovely and, I don't know what the word to use is. Sultry and intelligent Katie at adamandeve.com. Katie, thank you for sticking through the break.
Oh, definitely.
And you are the Director of Public Relations at Adam and Eve, correct?
Yes.
That's an impressive position. So anyway, I apologize. Our producer was trying to give us the cue for the break. She gives me the cue, but I was so distracted at looking at your catalogs and all the toys and talking to you that I kind of missed it. So I apologize for interrupting you before. Why don't you tell us again, as Todd asked, how you got this position and kind of tell us something about yourself. It's a little bit of an unusual job. Tell us something about yourself, how you got in this position, and what's day-to-day life like as the PR director of Adam and Eve, and does that spill over to your personal life?
Those are a lot of questions.
I know. You know us men, we just want.
So I saw an ad in the paper and thought it would be interesting to, kind of see what Adam and Eve was really about, and I expected, to go into a basement and a bunch of dirty old men, and it was actually a great place, a lot of women in management, very impressive, and, 20-plus years I'm still here.
So what's your daily job at Adam and Eve? Like, obviously it's public relations, but, like, what do you do to market the company besides coming on shows like mine? Like, what do you do to constantly look to push the product?
Well, every day is different, which is something I really enjoy, so I don't get, bored. I promote the toys, our own line of toys. So it's always a big plus if we get mentioned in Cosmopolitan or The View or, things like that. I try to push our movies. We have our own line.
How do you get them in The View and on movies and things like that? I don't know what it is. We've never had this. I've been on the air for a while, and all of a sudden we're talking about sex.
I think they wanted to hone in on your sex talk.
You know what?
We're getting closed down.
The truth is, I was thinking that before the show, the station manager is going to come in and pull the plug. They're not going to like what I'm talking about, but I don't think that's happening. But anyway, so how do you get this in promotional items and things like that?
We will send samples. We will, having done this a while, I've developed some relationships with some different editors. I have people that work on movie sets, and they know that I can overnight them toys if they need toys for a particular scene. So it's just about building relationships over time. How
much did the 50 Shades of Grey affect your business? It was obviously a titillating book, and I loved the movie, and it was, I thought, very sexy. But did you see a spike in that type of equipment? Or
we did. We certainly did. I think it piqued people's curiosity. They wanted to know, what's the secret about Benoit balls? Why is everybody talking about Benoit balls? And it kind of gave people permission to, bring up talking about adding restraints or blindfolds or toys. We actually created our own line of kind of soft bondage toys to go along with it.
Do you have a book of safe words?
That's good.
No, see, that's part of the fun. You have to come up with your own safe word.
Gotcha.
Agreed. Now, tell me about Halloween. Is that big for you guys? I mean, I know it's not really costumes, and some of the stuff you sell is very inappropriate. But I feel like Halloween has become a little bit inappropriate over the years.
Yeah, it actually is. We say that the peak time for us is Halloween to Valentine's Day. That's when we generally see, huge increase in traffic.
Same
sales.
for Florida. So South Florida is the exact
right.
same time frame.
What age group are you seeing senior citizens? Because I think seniors are being more sexually active. Are they buying a lot of your stuff?
I don't know if we've seen an increase, but there are a lot of seniors. We've done some ads in AARP that have done pretty well for us.
I have my AARP card. I want.
There you go. Do you get a senior discount?
Discount at Adam and Eve.
How has Howard Stern affected your business? Do you guys use him, or does he use you and promote you at all?
I don't know if we're currently running any ads on Stern, but we have done that in the past. And in the past, we've also had some contract stars. And we've gone and had them appear on Howard Stern, and it's done really well for us. I mean, it's just huge exposure.
When you have your films, you have like a film studio and all that stuff?
We have a production division here in North Carolina. We don't actually shoot anything in North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
And we outsource the talent, the directors, the performers, everything, mostly shot in L.A.
And are the films just sold on DVD, or are they on TV stations, or I don't know, cable stations as well?
Yeah, you can see some of our stuff on Showtime, hotels, the pay-per-view, DVDs, and we also do streaming, through our Adam and Eve website.
That's pretty cool.
Now,
cool.
North Carolina seems like a little bit of a strange place when you think about a company like Adam and Eve. You wouldn't expect it to be somewhere in the Bible Belt. How did that evolve, and is North Carolina actually more liberal than people think it is?
Well, the founder of our company went to school here, and I think he thought it would be a great place, and, some tax breaks and things like that. And actually, where we're situated is a very liberal area.
I went to college in North Carolina, and it was pretty liberal as well, so I can attest.
Yeah, I'm from Tennessee, and originally, and I tell my kids all the time that, they're growing up in North Carolina in a very liberal place. The rest of the world is not necessarily like this.
Interesting. How much has Viagra affected your business that, men as they get older can be more sexually active? I would think that has increased your business.
I don't have any hard numbers for you. Haha, no pun. But we do actually have Eden's RX, which is you can get to that from the adamandeve.com site if you type in Viagra, and you can order Viagra from the site. You can get a prescription there, and it's doing really well. I think Viagra has kind of expanded people's sex lives where they thought they would probably be over.
Yeah, I would think they would have helped your sales and just the general interest in sex. I know down here, we're in South Florida, and where I live is the hub of senior citizens. And one of the big problems they have is sexually active seniors at these retirement.
Yeah, STDs are
huge.
rampant.
I read about that.
It's big.
Really?
Nobody wants to think about that.
I actually thought a great business would be senior porn. Nothing like, having like a couple 80-year-old people, put them in an apartment, let them whatever. I don't know why I think that would be great.
So, Katie, are there any like crazy industry stories that you guys have of like people misusing your product or getting hurt with your product inadvertently? Well,
I can't divulge too much because of all the HIPAA laws.
Right.
But we have, our customer service department is open 24 hours, and they get calls. Our call center gets calls. Not a lot, but it happens with people saying, things have gotten misplaced or misused.
Stuck up there.
Or
lost.
How do you know what the appropriate... This is a really stupid question, but I would think this, maybe Todd would too. How do you know what size toy to buy for your partner? Like, they come... like literally a couple inches to huge.
String bean to John Holmes, right?
How do you know? Like when you're, you can't get it fitted.
No, but like I said before, I think that if you're buying something for your partner, you need to make sure that you're not going to, either intimidate or insult them. So I think start small. You can always go back and go bigger. Some of these things I like to think are for novelty use only. People are giving them as jokes. They're not real. You know what I'm talking about.
I
understand. Some of the crazy stuff that's out there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But they have all these neat swinging bondage chairs that hang from your ceilings. And
some of them look like torture devices from medieval times.
And they have things that are literally the adult toys. They're like bigger and thicker than my arm. But I guess someone's using them. I don't know. What do I know?
To each their own. We're not here to judge. We want everybody to have a happy, healthy sex life. And if that's what works for you.
I have another thing, and this has nothing to do with adamandeve.com, but just a theory I have. What do you think of the generation growing up today who are getting married later and I would assume being more sexually active. How does that interplay? Or like, are the kids in their 20s customers of yours, or is it like the married people like Todd and I?
It's both. We've tried to market to college students in the past because we were, thinking, oh, we'll get them young and they'll be customers forever. College students don't have a lot of money, number one. They certainly don't want their parents seeing what they've ordered, with their credit cards. So they're not really a huge customer base for us. I do think younger people, mid-20s, late 20s, who are still single and out there, I think they're open to it. But yeah, in general, it's older. It's mid-30s and up.
That's what I thought. I actually have a theory that I think, is on one hand, I'm very sexually liberal, but on another hand, I actually think that women, especially the young ones, are making big mistakes with their giving of their bodies so freely. I believe that young women have the most powerful commodity on earth. That sex drive that every guy wants is incredibly valuable, and it seems they're just giving it too freely today. Again, my opinion, nothing wrong with it. Mm-hmm. I wish I was younger. I was going to say, and I took advantage of it. But just as an older guy,
and you have all sons. I have a daughter, Jack.
Oh, it's terrible. Let me tell you, it's this twist because part of me says it's crazy already. These girls do the walk of shame, and it's just horrible how much they give of themselves. And yet, I say go for it. I'm jealous. You know what I mean? So,
I think that it's going to swing back. Right now there's the generation of hookups.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
But studies are showing that people aren't really happy with that. They're doing it because it's what's expected, but they're not really happy.
Well, it's interesting because I have boys in their 20s, and they don't like these girls that they're hooking up with. I guess they like them for the night, but they don't like them, and they actually call them hood rats. And they said they're never these girls would they want to marry or anything of that nature because they're a little bit too loose. So I guess it's,
Right.
But interesting.
Look, I'm going to switch gears again because now I'm getting nervous about my daughter. Look, we're real estate guys, so I always I like to bring it back full circle to what I do. And you guys are a huge mail order company, so I assume you have some warehousing and inventory that you use. How big are your warehouses? Where are your warehouses? And how do you sort of service your customers with them?
We have our warehouse here in Hillsborough, North Carolina, and it's huge. We actually just expanded it last year. We doubled its size almost. And we do have a couple items, some of the things maybe you were just talking about, the big swings and, the heavier items that we can drop ship, but pretty much everything is sent out of house.
In the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And you have private label websites as well, don't you? Like if I would want to go in your business and be an affiliate, you guys can set me up.
We could do that for you.
So I would think that's a great opportunity for someone to work at home and be an internet marketer, hook up with adamandeve.com, and you could be in this business. I would think you can open up a website pretty cheaply and market it.
Right. I mean, if you have the following, yeah, definitely.
Do you do a good amount of affiliate business, or is that a big traffic driver for you?
We used to do more, and I think it's just because everything is so competitive right now. Mm-hmm. But we do still do affiliates.
So if we have listeners right now who want to take advantage of not just buying your merchandise, I'm sure everyone can do a Google search for that. Mm-hmm. But in terms of opening a business, starting a franchise, or starting a website, who do they get in touch with and how?
Katie, hold on. I apologize. One more commercial, then we'll talk about that. We'll talk about a few other things. I apologize.
All right.